Hello, parents. As promised for some of you, I put together this video to show what the expectations are for this next unit of math. And I'll also make a second video kind of showing the strategies in action in solving some of the problems that I'm going to show. And I'll also have this presentation embedded in the email, so you can just use the actual PowerPoint if you want, or the Google slideshow, or you can just watch the video. So this is what we are looking for the kids to be able to do, that they're able to read and write decimals to the thousands in various forms, and to be able to compare, round decimals, add and subtract, explain, and then here are some strategies to be successful. We want to see them using things other than the algorithms. A lot of times those algorithms give kids, if they just kind of look at that, they don't really get the concept of what they're trying to learn down. They just kind of get a series of steps in which they think they get the right answer, but they don't really know. So I think really to start with, the first thing we're really going to try and make sure the kids are thinking about is rounding those decimals first, and then adding them together so they get an idea of where their answer is going to be, so they can kind of compare it. And then going from there, here are some strategies that we're going to be talking about that you can support at home. And again, I'll do another video actually showing the strategies in action, but I wanted to have this as well. So this is the open number line. This is a skill that they're really going to need to have and develop if they don't already, is the ability to think with hundreds. And what I mean by that is if you're given the number 37 or 0.37, you know that you can either take 37 away to get down to 0, or you can add 63 to get to 100. That's going to be a huge piece of the thinking for them to be successful with this. So practicing a lot of those combinations and understanding what those combinations are, and being able to visualize that is going to be an important concept for them, because all of these strategies revolve around the idea of making things easier on you and not having to do the algorithm. So you can see the open number line. It's just trying to find kind of that closest one, so that you take away some of that decimal, and then you're left with kind of an easier addition item there. There's the give and take. So again, trying to make things a little easier. So we're adding 0.13 to 0.87 to get the 16, and now we just have that 3.36 left. So that makes it a much easier problem for us. Finding the difference and removing. So finding the difference here, we're starting with and these two, it's if the numbers are close together, so 7.2 and 6.91 are close together, so we're going to start with that lower number. We notice we're trying to get to 7 first, which is 0.09, and then we know the rest of the way it's just that 0.20, and we add those together to get our difference. And then these items are 23.15 and 9.91 are super far away. So now we're going to start with that 23.15, get to that friendly number of 23, and taking 15 away, and understanding that we have that 76 left to get to 22.24. The constant difference. So again, when numbers are very challenging, we want to make things easier on ourselves. So for example, when we're subtracting, we either want this bottom number to be a whole number, like 10, or we want this top number to be right under, like one underneath a whole number. So another strategy would be adding something to get like 25.99 or 26.99, because then that makes the subtraction easier on us. But this one, we're just, if we add to one of the items in a subtraction problem and we add to the other one, we've kept that constant distance, so the difference is still the same. And those are the strategies. And now here are some examples of the problem types that we're wanting to see them master. Being able to take a number and being able to name it and write it in expanded form. Or seeing the number name and being able to write that number as a base 10 numeral, etc. From there, being able to compare decimals if they're greater than, less than, or equal. Being able to write decimals on a number line and putting them in the right order and in the right place. Rounding numbers to nearest 1/10 and 100th. Again, finding answers to subtraction and addition problems. And lined up as well. And just because things are lined up doesn't mean we expect them to use the algorithm. If they get to a point where they want to, it's okay. However, like certainly this problem right here, I see this, I would much rather want to make that to 4.99 minus 2.38, because that's just going to make my life easier in the long run. So we still want them to think about things before they start and not just blindly start on problems. So if you do decide to kind of add some practice to your routines at home because you want to work with your child, or and again, that is your option, and if that's what you want to do, but it's not something that we assign. Make sure you're taking the time for them to think through the problem first before starting and deciding on what is the best way to set the problem up, making some estimations as to what they think the answer is going to be, all that good stuff. And then finally, this item here, transferring between kilometers and centimeters. This is multiplying by 1,000 and understanding place value. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And again, in the next video, I'll kind of go over some of the strategies we're going to be using.